Hey, welcome to this week's Table Talk podcast. It is Caleb. I'm here with David, and it is a sunny, warm Tuesday afternoon. It's way better than last week.
For sure. It was freezing.
It was
this
cold.
weekend.
It was gross.
It was so just wet out and nasty.
My phone says 63 right now, 63 and sunny.
It's supposed to be in the 70s at the end by the end of the week. So that time, you think it's cold, and then it's like, we're back in late summer weather.
Well, you know what's crazy is I'm looking at this right now. It says 72 on Friday. You want to know what the high is on Monday? 39 degrees.
What is going on?
39 Monday, 47 Tuesday, 60 Wednesday, Thursday, then back into the 50s for the weekend.
Wow.
So that is an anomaly right there. That's weird.
Yep.
And go ahead.
No, we better soak in the last week of this.
We should.
Because I think it's probably about to head out.
It's fading fast.
It's fading fast.
Meanwhile, I am flying to San Antonio tomorrow for a conference, and the high is 84 tomorrow.
Oh, my goodness.
88 on Friday.
Pack your shorts, brother.
Yeah, that's right. It's going to be shorts and a cowboy hat.
Yeah. You'll come back Sunday and you'll have sunburn from your sunglasses.
That's right, yeah. 39 degrees, and I'll be red as a lobster. Be fried.
It's going to be awesome. Yep. Good week. We kicked off a new series on Colossians, talking about making Christ the center of our lives. I can't think of much more of a truth that comes out of the Bible than something, and I say this a lot, is like, my life is better when it's all about Christ. When He's the center, my life is better. Not always easier. Yeah. I would definitely want to say that. Not that it's easier, but when He's the center, my life is better. And so I think this series is going to be one that will be life-giving to a lot of people and open eyes with people. Hopefully convict everybody of, man, what places are not the center of, are we not making Christ the center of our lives?
Yeah, I mean, that's the point of the letter, is Paul's writing to the Colossians. He's never met these people. He's only heard about them through Epaphras, and he's the guy that started that community. And Paul's in prison writing to the Colossians, basically saying, like, I've heard how much fruit you guys are bearing for the kingdom. Stay at it, keep at it. But there's a warning there, too, of, like, don't be lured into some of the false teachings that are spreading in the Colossian church and in the community. And what I love about it is to kind of steer them away and protect them from false teaching. Paul isn't coming in like finger pointing, whatever. He's pointing them back to Jesus. And he's saying Jesus is at the center of everything. He's the center of creation. God made all things through Him and for Him. He holds the fabric of the universe together, like the universe beats on His time. Like He sets the rhythm for everything. And so because He is that, He should also be the center of our lives too. And what I love about the letter is that it starts like super big picture, like He is the firstborn of all creation. Like this is huge. And then by the end of the letter, we get down into husbands, love your wives. Wives, respect your husband. Like there's this, because Jesus is at the cosmic center of everything, it affects like our closest daily relationships. So there's this movement from big picture down to ground level. Over the next 3 weeks, we're going to talk about how to make Jesus the center of all of that, from the biggest part of your life to the very smallest, most minute place. Yeah,
like I said, I can't think of a better way to live my life, and I've tried. I think everybody has put other things, and even currently, I'm sure there are things in my life that that will sneak in and try to be the center, but when I make Christ that center, it's everything is better.
Everything's better.
I think that's good. It's a great book for aligning your life, making sure that you have a true north, and how Christ is that true north. It will guide your life. Because it's super easy to just kind of go and do your own thing, or to not think about him, but when something's the center of your life, it's what everything else is for.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I'm doing this because I want to do it for Christ.
Yeah.
And it gives you purpose. It gives you clarity.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you moral clarity,
Mm-hmm.
and how you should live, and the way you should act and treat people. And when he's at the center, it changes everything and gives us a true north to follow.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, think about the sun at the center of our solar system. Like everything in the solar system revolves around the sun. If we started revolving around Venus, things would crash. Like it would not go well.
Mm-hmm.
So when our lives revolve around Jesus, when he is at the center of the solar system of our lives, like things function properly. We move correctly. Things are good. We get what we need. When we make something else the center, we go off course and our lives start crashing into obstacles and barriers, and things slip and fall and get off course. And, the truth is like we can put, the big three are money, sex, and power, but there's a lot more than that. You can put technology at the center of your life. You can put what you own. You can put your routine. You can put yourself. You can put
your family.
I mean, you can put good things at the center of your life. But good isn't Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus is good, but the good things in our life aren't him.
Yep.
So we can prioritize good things and center good things, and our lives can still go off course because he's not the one that we're kind of gravitating around.
Yeah.
And it's careful. We got to be careful.
Yeah. And what's interesting about it, and Colossians brings this out a little bit, Paul brings it out a lot, is how can we even know what good is if we don't have the center of our lives?
Yep.
I mean, that's when I say he's the guiding, when he's the, the true north, it's only through him and through his scripture that we can even have that clarity. What is good? I can't even know what good is in my marriage without following God, without making Christ the center.
Yeah.
Because there are times that I have thought I've been doing good things for my marriage, and a lot of times what that actually is my selfishness and trying to avoid fights or something like that. With my kids, well, I'm trying to be, I want to be cool, and I want to be, all this loving stuff, and it's like, well, but if I'm going to follow Christ, if I'm going to make him the center of my life, I'm going to make him first. I'm going to make his law and his commands first in my life. And one of those commands is, like to make sure you're keeping your kids under control, that you're spare the rod, spoil the child. And it's like, okay, it could seem like I'm doing a good thing by not punishing my kid, or by not teaching them lessons, but because that can look good. But when Christ brings in the center, when you have him as the center of your life, you go, oh, there's all these other things that I got to make sure that I'm doing too. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Of what I'm saying is like, we can't even know what's good without focusing on Christ and without him being the center. And when we don't have him at the center, just like you said with the planets and the sun, is like things get out of hand very quickly. And if you don't have truth, if you don't have his guidance, and you don't follow Christ and put him at the center of your life, things are going to get a lot harder, a lot faster.
Yeah, and as of all people, like we should know that as followers of Jesus, like we should be aware of that. But I also just think it's true. Like we forget it, but I think it's true for everybody. Even if you did not believe in like the divinity of Jesus, I still think if you took the truths of Jesus, what he taught, and put it at the center of your life, I believe your life will be better. It is a better way to live, to love other people the way you love yourself. It is a better way to live, to restrain your lust and your greed that hurt other people. It is a better way to live, to forgive, and to not just for the other person, but for you. It takes the weight off of you. Like you're able to release some of that. What Jesus teaches us is a better way to live, whether you believe in his divinity or not. Now, I would say his divinity is what gives his teachings authority, but I believe every person's life could get better if they place Jesus at the center. And so obviously we're going to argue, he's God, so he kind of he wins here. But your life gets so much better when you take the focus off of yourself or off of a thing or off of another person or off of a place and put it onto Jesus, the one who through whom all things were made, who knows us best, who knows what's best for us. And it takes the pressure off of us too. It's not just about our life getting better. It means we don't have to have the pressure of deciding how to run our life anymore. We can look at Jesus and go, you're in charge. I want to do what you do and what you've called me to. And we get to watch as things get better as we do that. Does that make sense?
It does, 100%. And I look at, like, recently, Richard Dawkins, a famous atheist, called himself a cultural Christian. He doesn't believe in that Jesus, definitely doesn't believe that Jesus was Messiah. There's been times where he said, I don't even know if Jesus existed.
Yeah.
I don't even think that would be even a question.
Yeah,
historically speaking, it's not even a question. But it's become so apparent to even him, one of the biggest voices in atheism, that our culture and our lives are better when Christ is at the center. And so he's saying, I'm a cultural Christian. I like it better when God, and it's like, man, when you see that, if you're saying that out loud, you're one step away from saying, Christ is Lord.
You're not far from the kingdom.
You're not far from the kingdom, because you see things are better when he's in control. And once you start believing that, and when you start seeing it, because I think it's very obvious. I just think, I look at our world, I look at the chaos and all of those, the political systems, socially, spiritually, where people are at, and I go, man, we'd be so much better off with Christ at the center. And even atheists are going, that's true.
Yep, it is.
It's so, it's incredible to hear that and to know that, hey, this isn't just something we're it's not just blind. It's not just like there's actual, like, hey, things are better when Christ is at the center.
I think for us, like, the big picture of Colossians is a lot of things. Jesus reveals who God is. Paul says Jesus holds creation together. Jesus is the firstborn of new creation. Jesus reconciles creation. There's all that big picture stuff. But the idea that, like, putting him at the center is what he's calling us to. And I guess, like, to move into the practical, like, we talked about how in the Western world, typically we think about changing and learning by, like, we sit in a classroom, we hear a lecture, we listen to a sermon, we read a book, we listen to a podcast, and we go, oh, I'm going to go do that thing. It doesn't always work. Information alone can't change us. You could read the Bible every single day and your life not look anything like it. But the Jesus way of teaching, the Jesus way of discipleship, it's a more Eastern way of doing it, but the Jesus Jewish way of doing it is you go do the thing, and then you reflect and learn about it after you do it, and then you go do it again. So Jesus sends out the 72, where he sends out the apostles, and he brings it back. Like, all right, let's debrief. How'd that go? It's like, okay, here's what went right, here's what went wrong. Go do it again. A lot of our discipleship and a lot of our effort to make Jesus the center of our lives just is about, well, if I learn enough stuff, if I get enough information, then my life will change. And I can tell you, as somebody who sat through, 30 years of church, and the people listen probably sat through a lot more, information is good. Information hasn't changed my life. What's changed my life is actually putting the truths of Jesus into practice. And that is, like you said, it's not always easier, but it's better. And so the challenge for us was that, I think the letter of Colossians invites us to learn not to, like, think our way into new ways of acting, but to act our way into new ways of thinking. If we begin to live as if Jesus is at the center, even if we got to fake it till we make it, like, what would someone who lives with Jesus at the center do in this situation? They'd probably get up, they'd probably pray, they'd probably read the Bible, they'd probably serve somebody, they'd probably reflect on their day with God, they'd probably try to love people that are annoying. Like, what would that person do? If you go and do that, if you start trying it, I believe your mindset around it will start to change, because it's through the practice that our minds are transformed. Then we need both. I'm not saying don't get information, but so that was the call of the week was 4 simple practices to start to put Jesus at the center of your life. One was read Colossians 1 every day this week. So it's Tuesday for us, Thursday for you guys as you hear this. If you missed a day, it's okay. There's grace, but
you can just read it four times in a row.
You can catch up. Yeah. That's what we used to do for college, right? I read it 5 times, 30 minutes ago. Talk to God before you talk to anybody else. So when you wake up, maybe you live with people, that's fine. But like in your mind, just go, God, thank you. Thanks for the breath in my lungs today. Thanks for the sunlight through the window. Thank you for meeting me here. Talk to him before you talk to anybody else. Third was find one way to serve each day. So, maybe it's the people you live with or a coworker or your kids or whatever. One way a day where you go, I'm going to serve this person today. And then the fourth was just to reflect on your day with God. So if we give God the first word of the day, we give him the last word of the day. We go, God, you take 2 minutes. This is my day. I want to recall it with you. Show me where I lived with you at the center and where I didn't. And I think it's just the simple practices of starting to try to put him at the center. It's like a snowball. Things will start to grow. Our minds will start to change. They'll start to shift. And if you don't believe me, I'm telling you from experience, not that I've got any of this figured out, but I start to long for Jesus more when I start doing the things Jesus has told me to do. Mm-hmm. And I think that can happen for all of us if we'll just make the effort.
Yeah, I agree 100%, and I think it's a good start to a new series, and it's one I'm excited about. As we were talking about it in the meeting last week, I was like, oh, this is going to be so good. This whole series is going to be so good. I'm pumped about it. And what's crazy about this one is we have this one, and then we're heading into Christmas series.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's happening.
Yeah.
Like we're not that far.
Dude,
off.
I don't know how it's November. Is today the 4th for us? Yeah. I don't know how it's November 4th, but it is.
Yeah. Yep.
It's
coming quick.
Yeah. Literally college basketball started last night. Kentucky plays their first game tonight. And it's like, how did we get here? How is it November?
Yep. It comes quick. Mm-hmm. This upcoming week, we're hitting Colossians 2.
Yep.
And what we'll be covering a little bit this week.
Yeah, in chapter 2, Paul gets into really more of like some specifics around the Colossian heresy. So he starts talking to them about that all of God's divinity is found in Jesus. There's not these other elemental beings or spirits that they can find divinity in. There's something that was happening in Colossae at the time was this Colossian heresy was like this synchronization of pagan Gnosticism, Jewish legalism, and like obsession with spiritual and angelic beings. And all of that kind of twisted together in this toxic brew, essentially. And Paul's trying to pull them out of that. So we get into chapter 2, we'll get into more of the specifics of what they were dealing with. And for us, we're going to have to ask the question, what philosophies or spirits or beings or whatever it is, like what things have we given power over us? What have we made idols out of? What have we placed at the center of our life, and how do we rip that out and put Jesus back in his rightful place? So it's going to be good. Could be challenging for me, could be challenging for all of us, but I think it's really good stuff we need to hear, especially as we head into Christmas, where we go, okay, this is a time of year where we physically practice putting Jesus at the center. It's good to know what's maybe taking his place in the weeks leading up to it.
Yep. Ripping anything out sounds painful.
Yep.
Yep. Sometimes we see, you see in surgery and you see in things like that. It's like it's necessary.
Yep.
And healthy, and sometimes that we have to do it. It can save your life by doing that. I'm excited. That'll be really good. And I hope you have a good time in Dallas.
San Antonio. Yeah.
A couple of days. That'll be the good conference.
Yep.
And then be back here to preach on Sunday, correct?
That's right. Yeah, I'll be at the Forge America national gathering. So Forge is it's a missional church network that helps churches become more missionally aware in their neighborhoods and their communities. So helping us basically live like missionaries. So I'm kind of involved with that loosely, and went to another gathering back in April, and this is the big one for the year in November. So should be really good. 3 days in San Antonio. A lot of learning, a lot of good conversations, and hopefully we'll come back with some fresh things for us to think and pray through here.
That sounds awesome. Sounds like a great opportunity.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Should be fun. Well, cool, guys. Thanks for hanging out. We will see you next week on the Table Talk podcast. Hope you have an amazing weekend. Enjoy what's left of the warm weather, and we will see you guys hopefully for church on Sunday. Have a good one.